Hi, my name is Jennifer. I'm going to show you how to modify this skip hop mini harness bag for an infinity pump. This is our bag. First thing we're going to do is we're starting off with 2 pieces of Velcro. I just ripped the wrapper off of this one. It's this stuff. You buy it for like 84 cents at Walmart. So I have a piece that's about 6 inches and one that's, just over 2. So the next thing we're gonna do is pull this apart and flip it. I'll show you. So this is what I mean, is where I took the hook and loop part and then the soft side, and I made it where this little section right here is stuck together, and I'm going to sew this and I'm going to repeat it on this one, and then I'll show you what we do next. So here's both my pieces sewn together. Thread's white, you can't really see the stitch that well, but they're sewn. So the next thing I'm going to do is take this long piece and I'm going to sew it in the center around right here, kind of roughly in the middle. This is my setup of how I sew it. I just wedge it in my sewing machine. Me and the sewing machine do fight a lot sometimes because it doesn't like to go through all the different fabrics of different backpacks. If you're using a machine to do this, you do want to make sure that your straps are above and that this little piece right here is above. I have on occasion, when I first started, accidentally sewed the straps. So here's my first strap sewed in. It bird nested on me a little bit, so it doesn't always look the prettiest in the back, but people don't usually see that. As long as it's in there secure enough that your loop isn't gonna come off, and I'll show you. I used to use elastic with a little bit of Velcro, and I just started going straight to Velcro. So this loop can be adjustable, really small and really big. And there's my first loop. I always try to make sure there's a little bit of extra Velcro, so if they need to, they can trim it down. So the next thing we're going to do is sew the side. I always sew before I do the grommets. This is my setup to sew the side. On this particular bag, I just try to center it. It's not always perfect in front of the little zoo. My grommet's going to go down here. And I turn my machine sideways because it makes it a little bit easier. This piece right here is going to go right there. I'll show you. So there's the setup, and it's ready for me to sew now. And I'll show you it finished in just a second. Just do your best to make it straight. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is a grommet. For this bag, we just use it as an exit hole for the tubing. So this is one side of it. Here's the other side. Here's the template that we use. This is the package we use. This is the bigger size grommet for when you're doing like a toddler size backpack where you put like the pump in the front pocket. I'll show you an example of that in a minute. But this is the size difference. This is the 1 inch that we use for like the exit hole. This is the 1.5 inch that we use for the opening between two bags. The bag set plastic pieces won't fit through this one. And I'll show you how I do it. So first I hold my template up here and I'm going to outline the little things with a pen. So here's my marks. So now I'm going to cut out this circle. So there's my hole. It doesn't have to be perfect. I use a lighter just to kind of seal off these little ends, just in case my grommet ever pops off. I can pop the grommet right back on and not have to worry about any of the spraying. Usually the canvas you won't really have an issue with. It's the blue part that'll start fraying. Also, make sure when you do it, you're really quick with the lighter if you choose to seal off the ends, because you will catch it on fire on the inside. So just the way I do mine, I take the part that has the thick round ring and put it on the underside. And then I'm going to take this piece right here on top. And then I usually have to kind of smash them down on a hard surface, and then you'll hear it clip when it goes into place. So you see on this one, it went too far over and all of it did not grow on the grommet. There's a little opening down here. I always put this little piece on the bottom just so you don't see it. I'm not sure how well you can see it. Let me see. You can see the notch on this one. This notch. So all I'm going to do is stick my scissors under there and pop it back apart because these just snap together and they'll come back apart. Okay, so I took it apart and put it back together. And the goal is just to make sure that all your sides are sealed. Same on the inside. Everything looks good. So we have that strap on. There's the back of the bag. And that's it for this bag. It's super simple. The whole thing, minus technical difficulties, only takes about 10 or 15 minutes. With this bag, the bag hangs here, and the pump goes directly in front of it. The tubing comes out the side, and we coil the excess tubing here. On this bag, what's nice is the harness style is that it comes in with a built-in chest clip. These bags are small. They're good for little kids, probably ages 9 or 10 months up till 3 or 4. I believe the bag itself says I think it says ages 3 and up, 1 and up. Oh, I can't find that part of the paperwork. The other thing I wanted to show you is basically I do the same thing on a bigger bag when I'm adding a chest clip. I sew them to the back right here on both sides. You have to go a little bit above this when you're using the machine because it'll get hit on the plastic. But I make a loop on this side, so I don't really make this side adjustable. And then I put all the extra length on this side. You can find this stuff, which is just the same kind of stuff as like the backpack, for like $3 at Walmart. And the other thing that we use they're called parachute clips. This is my bag of parachute clips right here. And so on the one side, we make sure that the bottom of this is folded over. I do the same thing when I put them on the bigger backpacks. This is an example of one of my very worn toddler size skip hop bags. This has my older style that I was using with the Velcro and the elastic right here. This is the bigger grommet on the inside. All the other steps are exactly the same. And then the grommet on the side. That grommet's big because it's been replaced a couple times. And that's really it for that. I want to show you the little strap I put inside the Joey bags. But first, this is the setup that I have on the Bracy bag. It's really kind of not set up correctly right now. But there's the food. The pump's down there. The exit hole's actually there. And then I recently, over the weekend, cut out this hole and used some fabric glue to make a little window. You can use the main compartment as well. I'm currently using it to store extra feeding tube supplies for when he goes to school, extra button and stuff. So when you're doing a Joey pump, this is the 1,000 milliliter Joey bag. Someone donated to me. This is what I use to measure for Joey pumps. So ghetto. But this is the strap I make to go around the pump. I can't really do it one-handed. But when this is cooperating, this fits around it. It's my idea is an attempt to hold the Joey bag in the bottom, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I'll take this and I'll use this box to measure it out, and then I'll sew this strap in on the inside, and then you'll see the same little sewing that like is on this. And let me set it up and I'll show you how it goes. Okay, so this is how I have the pump set. It could also be set up long ways. You just need a where the tubing's up, just put more room in there. It's really hard to visualize without having an actual pump. And I can't hold it all with one hand. But there's the elastic that would normally be sewn to the bag. I put it to the right side of the bag. Well, I guess it's the left side of the bag. Nope, the right side of the bag. I was trying to think about when they were wearing it. And so this bag will fit here. And so instead of centering the strap, I put it off to the side a little bit. And it fits on the side here. Once again, it's hard to do one-handed. There we go. So you can see it on the side. And then the tubing will still exit out the side like normal, just like every other pump. Since my son does not wear his bag, I don't have any chest straps on this. But once again, on this, I go like a ½ inch above this little mark and sew the strap like right here. So even though this was probably the worst tutorial ever, I've been saying I was going to do one, and that is how I make these backpacks.